Hello. So I'll be going over my notes from sections 9 through 12, and again, I'll be looking over at my notes. Um, so the first section was about choosing appropriate instructional strategies and resources. What I got from that section was that from our district, we'll be getting resources that gives us like the latest information in regard to educational theory and practice. So I feel like that would be really helpful for us to keep up to date on everything, and that to choose appropriate instructional strategies, we need to have careful planning. We need to gather a bunch of resources, and we need to make sure that we know exactly what we're going to do when we get into the classroom. I liked that the section gave us the most popular and adaptable strategies or activities for our students. So there's effective discussions, active learning, cooperative learning, blended learning, contract learning, web quests, seminars, teachings, flipped learning. And I liked that in each one of these, there's the definition, there's the uses, the practice, the advantages and disadvantages. So I really liked that section. I thought it was really helpful. And then it gave us a bunch of information on ways to effectively incorporate technology, which I feel like is really important in this day and age, especially because I feel like kids really connect with technology. And as long as it's used effectively and appropriately, I feel like it can really help the kids with their learning. Then the next section was about designing effective instruction. So this requires really careful planning. And when we do carefully plan as teachers, we are more likely to prepare interesting and engaging lessons, which I think is very important. And we will be more confident, which I would appreciate because I hope to be very confident in my teachings. It also mentioned that we need to access our students' prior knowledge, and I liked that the book said that the students' prior knowledge, all of their prior knowledge, is a gift that they bring to the classroom. So we need to access it, and we need to prompt them to access it and use it, especially because their prior knowledge dictates the approach that we will then take for each unit of study. So if we know that our whole class has this whole basis of prior knowledge on a topic, we will teach that unit of study differently than if the whole class knew nothing about it. It also said to establish routines so the students know what to expect each day, but also to vary the lessons to stay engaging for them, and then to always have a backup plan, which I feel like is really important because you just never know what's going to happen in the classroom. The next section was about delivering engaging instruction, which I feel like is like a super important thing for teachers is to be engaging, because you don't want to just be like standing at the front of the room like lecturing at your students all the time. So the tips that they gave was to rehearse what you're going to say, which I've heard before that you need to like write your lesson plans and then rehearse them a bunch. And then also videotape yourself so you can watch those videos back and adapt like maybe the way you talked or the way you said something. Maintain eye contact, and then command attention, which I feel like the command attention part is really important, because I'm one of the teachers. I feel like I'm going to be one of the teachers that just can't handle having people talk while they're trying to teach. I'm going to definitely command that attention. And then to engage all of the students in the discussions and use graphic organizers to engage the students, which I plan on doing a lot. The last section was about meeting the needs of all of our students. And one of the first sentences in this section was that there's no such thing as a homogeneous classroom. And I feel like this sentence was like really thought-provoking because we've always been told, I feel like through all our education courses, that all students are different. And I think that sentence saying that there's no such thing as a classroom, like a homogeneous classroom, it rings really true. And it kind of proves that like each student is unique. So we need to support all of our learners with differentiated instruction, which I'm sure we've all seen in the CSM lesson plan format that we always have to write differentiation, which I'm guessing we all get kind of tired of having to fill that whole thing out, but I do think differentiation is really important. So like it helps with being fair to all the students. And then another part they said about differentiation in the book that I thought was really interesting was that differentiated instruction is creating paths so students of different abilities or needs can experience appropriate ways to learn. And I think that's just a great way of putting it. and something that all teachers need to keep in mind and put into practice. And then the last point I noted was that differentiation is modifying our content, process, or product, but not lowering our high expectations of all of our students. So they might need that differentiation, but that doesn't mean that we want to lower our expectations of them. We still need to expect success from all of our students. So that was what I got from sections 9 through 12.